What? No, no, no. Art comes from the soul. If you use references, you suck!
Hello there, everyone. Welcome back. Um, I hope you liked the small little animated short I did. Um, it's meant to be taken as satire, so don't actually take the advice. It's terrible. Do use references. Do not. Do not use references. Yes. References are important. Why? Well, sir, I draw from my soul. I draw how I want to see things. Okay, but that car you drew looks like shit. Sorry, but now using references, especially when you're studying art, is important because our brains, it has this function. I don't know if you've heard of it before. It's called remembering stuff. It's very important for us artists. Yes. And it can sort of be simplified into this concept called, well, it's on like art communities and generally by artists, it's called the visual library. Yes, the visual library. And it's it's so like in our brains we have like, I'm pretty sure everyone watching knows how the letter A looks, right? The letter A. Yes. It's because we've seen it so many times, right? Because you've ingrained like the visual A, because even though it's a letter, you still see it, right? You've ingrained it into your brain. The neurons in your brain have created pathways so that you can remember how it looks. And this is the key to drawing without references. And the visual library, you can sort of, I mean, it's a library, right? So if I wanted to draw a car, right, I'd, well, first of all, I can't really draw cars. So what I do is I'd find like pictures of cars I'd like, and then I'd study them, and then I'd study it so many times that now I just draw the car. And it of course like depends on what kind of model car I like. But yeah, and this goes with anything, right? It, it's not just cars. It can be rocks, lakes, robots, and so you really want to cultivate this visual library. And so you're like asking me, well, how do I do that? I'll tell you. You the different ways. So you can study art, and it's probably the best thing to do is to just study art. For example, knife. Um, so if I want to learn how to draw a butter knife, well, what I would do is, since I have a real life knife, it's a butter knife, um, I would, simplify it down to its basic shape. So you can sort of see here it's a rectangle, and up here it's some sort of weird half moon angled down. Yeah, it's a half moon. It's a half moon. And then you would just do so many studies of like fill up a sketchbook with just a thing you want to draw, like cutlery, and eventually you'll it's sort of think of it like you open up your brain, take it out, and then you carve your brain to say, I know how to draw cutlery. And one of the things that I do is change your vision. Well, okay, how do I do? Yeah. What you do is that, for example, you can go outside, go into your local city or whatever, and just look at the buildings. Look at all the buildings around you. Try and simplify their shapes. Does that building kind of look like a rectangle with a triangle on top? Wow. And wow, look at the ornamentation on that building. Wow, look at that tree, the way the light bounces off of it. And this, if you've ever if you've ever prayed, if you have ever played Assassin's Creed, there's this or just video games, it's like this thing where you have this vision where it like everything turns blue or something, and then you can see objects that you can interact with. You can think of it like that. Just go outside and then activate your artist vision. Or activate your artist vision. That's what we call it, artist vision. And just observe, observe everything. Just look at everything like you want to remember it. Remember. Artist's vision. Yes. And, well, the last thing is to just draw. Draw. It's as simple as that. You can't get good at drawing by not drawing. It's like becoming a race car driver, but not learning how to drive. So kind of missed the point, right? And well, there is, and you know the statement in the beginning, right? There is some truth to it. Drawing from the soul, creativity. It's gonna sound kind of harsh, but when you think about it, creativity doesn't exist. Because if artists draw from their visual library or from references, then isn't everything already drawn? Hasn't God already made everything? Well, yeah, pretty much. But, and you can, and then well, drawing from the soul, right? What does that mean? Does it just mean I will draw a, a, a penguin? Yes. But it doesn't look like a penguin because you haven't studied or seen a penguin enough to really draw it. I like to do this with anatomy, and when I'm drawing, I don't know, my bicep or something, I can't quite get the shape right. I look up biceps on, I don't know, Google Images, Pinterest, Yahoo, and I just and I think this is a great way to learn anatomy. If you're just studying anatomy and you stumble upon a piece in the anatomy of the human that you can't quite get right, look it up. Don't wallow in your shame and say, "Ooh, I suck. I suck because I cannot draw." Yeah. We all get those feelings, and it's important to say to yourself, I'm an artist. What is my job? I draw. I am an artist, an animator, any. I am a practitioner of the creative arts. Draw. Yes. And there is some truth in drawing from the soul, but it's not the soul. When we when artists paint a painting, they don't there's meaning behind it. When you paint a painting, there's elements in it. There's color, shape, construction, perspective. It invokes feelings. Feelings. And that's what's important. Art is artist's an artist's job is to show reality through the lens of being human, because being human is an innately unique experience. Yeah. And that was basically all I wanted to talk about. I'll see you sometime, sooner or later, my friends. Bye bye.